Did you know hiragana used to be called onnamoji and was primarily used by women? Buckle up, it's story time. So before kanji came to Japan, Japanese was just a spoken language. There was no script. But when kanji did come to Japan, Japanese people had to figure out how they were going to use the kanji to represent sounds in Japanese. So for example, how do you write arigato in kanji? And that's when the first ever kana script came in. This is the ancestor of hiragana and katakana, and it was called manyogana. So what did manyogana look like? Well, actually, it was just a bunch of kanji. What they did was they took the kanji, they completely ignored the meaning and just used the sounds from the kanji to represent Japanese sounds. So for example, this kanji and this kanji will be pronounced a. This is fine in theory, but the problem was they weren't just using manyogana. They were using manyogana and they were using kanji with its meaning intact. So you would have these sound-only kanji next to kanji that actually have meaning and are pronounced differently. So when you're reading a sentence, you'll be like, oh, which one do I pronounce how? And that's when katakana came in. No one really knows who made katakana or where it comes from. People like to say that it came from components of manyogana, which might be true, but it might also be complete BS, because when you look at charts of katakana origins, some of them just feel like a stretch. It doesn't make sense. Like, what do you mean a comes from this and he comes from this? They look like the exact same radical, but I could be wrong. But anyway, katakana was formed, it replaced manyogana and started being used alongside kanji. That's why old documents like the Meiji Constitution are written in kanji and katakana and not hiragana. So, where did hiragana come from? The thing is, when you're writing kanji and katakana using a brush and ink, there's too many strokes and it gets kind of annoying. That's why women who would write a lot of letters, they started writing kanji in cursive. So they would omit certain things here and there, merge certain things, and eventually that evolved into hiragana. Men were still required to use katakana and kanji for work because it was considered more proper. And obviously no one gatekept hiragana, but women would use hiragana to write letters, and it was considered more informal. And thus it was called onnamoji. The more you know.